We get another opportunity to explore one of the high school gyms in the state of Kansas, and today's tour takes us to McPherson High School. And again, if you're listening to the audio podcast, this is going to be one that's going to serve you best watching it on YouTube for the visual effect. Helping us out with today's tour is going to be Kurt and Clint Kinnamon. Kurt is head coach of the McPherson boys basketball team. Clint, the head coach of the girls team for the Bullpups. Guys, appreciate you coming on the show. What's life like in McPherson, Kansas right now?
Well, life for me was, I'm going to be facetious, is a little bit fantastic today doing professional development.
And life for me was a little bit different today. I got to do some work in my classroom, so I had to take a personal day to do that. But it was a good day for me.
Well, for you guys, I mean, before we get started on the tour, just being able to play back on your home floor, I mean, after, the first semester was wiped out with the storm damage and getting replaced with that floor, what was it like just that first semester being, true, I guess, road warriors?
I'll let you address the games, and then I'll talk about practice.
Well, the obviously playing on the road was difficult, and we played some difficult opponents certainly on the road too. And the first game back in here, it was magical. It seemed almost like the season hadn't even started the first semester, because we just nothing was familiar that we were dealing with, and so it was awfully good to get back in here. And the floor looks great, and it's got great bounce to it, and really a tremendous basketball floor.
Practice-wise, it was very, very trying, to say the least. It ended up the boys freshman team was practicing at 6:30 or 5:30 a.m. before school every day. And then we would alternate who was early and late in the auxiliary gym. That even got a little bit more dicey when we started having wrestling events.
Sure.
We ended up, there were a few times that we ended up practicing at the community building and at the middle school as well. And sometimes at very odd times. I think there was twice we had to wait till the middle school was finished with all of their games before we could get on for practice. But, I think Kurt really touched on it. It didn't really seem like the season had begun because of all the strange things that we were dealing with and being on the road.
Yeah, I would mention, one positive kind of a cool thing was when we did practice at the community building. That's the building where the 1936 Olympic champion Globe Refiners actually practiced, the same building. And it's kind of a museum towards basketball. So that was kind of cool to be in there, but certainly a pain to have to go across town and having the different practice times.
Well, and one other thing about the community building too is they've got the scoreboard with the actual score of what the Olympic championship game was.
Wow.
But it's really cool.
Well, all right, let's get started on this tour, boys. We'll start out with Kurt. Clint, if you want to flip things around here, and I'll let you guys give us our walking tour, if you will. Kurt, though, like for you, since you've been there since the mid-1990s, like in your opinion, like what makes this gym so special?
Well, for one thing, there's usually a very large crowd here. And the most special thing for me is when I walk out of that tunnel, come out of that tunnel with the band playing. They always play the Hot Stuff song, and coming out of that tunnel, and I still get chills when I do that. And I've always said that when I'm not excited to come out, that's when I'm going to hang it up. But even coming out every day for practice, it's special to walk into this place. As you can see, it's tremendously well lit. We actually have a guy, Dave Larson, who actually his main focus and his main job is to take care of this Roundhouse. So our whole crew takes a lot of pride in keeping this place very nice.
Clint, for you, I mean, obviously you heard a lot about it and you probably attended multiple games, to see your brother coach, but after everything that you heard about the Roundhouse and then actually to be able to coach in it last year, what was that experience like for you?
It's a lot of fun. Coaching in the same school that your brother's at is really special. And it's nice to have somebody that I can bounce ideas off of, get his thoughts on how we're playing, and he does the same. So lot of fun. For us, we come out actually to the school song. And I'll never forget the first home game we had last year. I was a little bit late with our pregame, and the girls were like, "Coach, we got to go. We got to go." And we kind of hustled out there. And after that, we made sure that our pregame was done early enough.
All right. So some of the features, let's see what we got here. Like, what are some of your favorite features of the Roundhouse?
Well, I mean, if you look up at the banners from all the years, that's really cool. And they're, you know, they've had to start around the inside ring to hang those banners.
Yeah.
You know, everything red. Our new floor design, I think, is tremendous, with the bullpup in the middle, and the floor had actually been redone last year, and we had they'd put the roundhouse on the side and the bullpup in the middle, and then on the ends the bullpup and McPherson, but they were actually stickers. And this year, when they redid it, this is all hand painted, so you don't have to worry about that bubbling up or kids slipping on it or anything. You know, I think the multi-colors in the floor look great, so
yeah.
Really happy to be here.
Concession stands, where are concessions at?
The concession stands are actually upstairs through the doors that we're looking at, in the AC, which is our commons area.
What about student section? Where are they located?
Oh, right over here in this corner. And our students the other night for the Bueller game, that was a great atmosphere. The place was pretty close to packed for both the girls and the guys game, and everybody was into it. But our students are starting to show up a little bit more now that we're getting closer to postseason, and makes it a lot of fun for the kids to play.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, you know, as far as the capacity of that place and like the standing room up top, like how full have you seen that place up on top?
I think the most full I've ever seen it was actually for our girls tournament back in the 90s when it was a countywide tournament, and Little River, I think, won a state championship that year. Mound Ridge won a state championship that year, and our girls won a state championship that year. And actually, I had a couple of my guys, I'll just tell a quick story. I had a couple of my guys who are entrepreneurs who went out and sold parking, and they would shuffle you up to the door for an extra buck. And but the problem was they were selling that parking in the church next door, and it wasn't their parking lot to be selling. And so we came in the next day, and my AD says these guys are suspended, and I had no idea what was going on. And we got to the bottom of it, and one of them I'll never forget. He went on to become a college coach. This young man did. I'm going to leave names out of it, but
sure.
He said they actually went out and bought whistles and orange vests so they could direct traffic. And he asked the athletic director, Mr. Swenson, can we keep enough to cover our costs? And I just about came over the desk at him after he was in trouble anyway. But a great story. But there have been some really big crowds in here. And when they get to standing, there were a lot of people standing around the top the other night. So it makes for an intimidating environment for sure.
I think the capacity is 2,700 without standing room only.
Yeah, it says 2,700 right up there.
Clint, any moments for you, like in the last 2 years, you know, just being able to coach there that kind of you got caught up in the moment, like, wow, this is pretty cool?
Well, we've had a couple of close wins, a couple of overtime games that, you know, when kids make plays at the end of the game, you're always going to remember. For me, you know, only being here for 2 years, my memories are a lot fewer than what his are.
Sure. Well, yeah, you mentioned that, like, Kurt, like anything that's changed. Obviously, you got the new flooring now here recently over the last couple of months, but anything that's changed in the Roundhouse since you arrived in the mid-90s?
Yeah, they were wooden bleachers.
Okay.
When I got here, it was wooden bleachers, and you were likely to get a splinter if you weren't careful. And the lighting, it had kind of a greenish tint to it. So it is a much different feel and look in here. And I remember when we had the original floor in, they had something happen right over here along the sideline. A girl went face first diving for a ball, and she chipped both of her teeth off.
Mm.
And after the game, I remember we went over and you could see the 2 teeth marks in the old Roundhouse floor. And when they put in the new floor, they made some mementos for people. And I don't know whether she got that.
She should have.
Yeah, no kidding. She deserved that one. Wow. All right. So is there a good side to shoot on? Like, what's the best side to shoot on? Which end?
We shoot better on the home end.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
the one we're on right now.
Always on this end is the best end to shoot on, because you can communicate a little bit better and things like that for sure.
Our bench is actually on the left side instead of the right side, like most home gyms are, because our locker rooms are this way.
Ah, I got you. Okay.
And we have, used to have press row was right behind, but now press row is moved over to the other side, and they have a digital running advertisements, and it's a pretty neat setup for sure.
One thing that we have that very few others have is we've got live stats.
Wow.
And we've got a crew that does a fantastic job. They're bringing them to you at every time out, halftime, after the game. It's really, really nice to have that.
Yeah, that's the McPherson Optimist Club actually does that, and then they go and they do one of the state tournaments too. So these guys are very good at what they do.
A media-friendly gym. It just gets even better. I like it.
Yes, it is.
Hey, boys, I appreciate the time, and thanks for the tour, and best of luck the rest of the season.
All right. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That is Kurt and Clint Kinnamon, the head coaches of McPherson High School basketball. That'll do it for our stadium tour.